Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kristen Thomas, certified sex coach and writer amongst other things. And today we are diving into a topic that comes up every January, which is divorce season. January is often called divorce month or divorce season, but why? And does it deserve to be called that? Well, today I'm going to take a look at why many people choose January to file, and what's behind this alleged yearly surge, and also why the current political climate could play a bigger role in the dynamics this year than ever before. We'll also talk about how to navigate this difficult time if you feel like your relationship is headed in this direction. But before we begin, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you find it helpful. So, does January deserve to be recognized as divorce season? Yes and no. The holidays can be intense, full of family pressures, financial stress, and heightened emotions. It's the perfect storm for uncovering underlying issues that were previously swept under the rug. Maybe one more year of an empty stocking was enough for some of you. Now, for some, after weeks of pretending that things are fine, January feels like a time of release and a time where you can take action, and it's a time of fresh starts, right? A new year, new me kind of mentality. Well, for a lot of people, new year, new me means no you in order for that to happen. So January sees a rise in filings because a lot of people have held off. They didn't do it before the holiday because of their kids' sake. They wanted their family to have one more holiday together. Some people went and visited an attorney during back to school season and actually decided to wait until after Christmas time. So January becomes a time when they file. They decided they could handle one last holiday with their terrible in-laws just so their kids could be happy. Now, once the new year hits, it's like a weight is lifted and then the realities of their situation become all too clear for others. They just can't ignore things anymore, and divorce seems to be the only viable option. So, filing for divorce in January is popular, but so is filing in February and March and even October. They had one last summer vacation. They were like, that's enough. I can't do another holiday season. That was enough. Another significant factor in the rise in divorce filings recently is the political climate. It's no secret that politics have made us even more polarized than ever, especially since 2016. Many couples who once considered themselves mixed political households are finding that their differences are too vast to be overlooked. A 2017 poll revealed that 2/3 of respondents said that they would consider divorcing a spouse who supports Trump. This political divide is real, and it's impacting relationships in many previously unimagined ways. But it's not just about politics for many, it's about values. If one partner supports policies or leaders that the other partner just simply cannot stand behind, this can create an insurmountable rift, especially now. Many women cannot continue a relationship with a husband who voted against her reproductive rights. When I did my January column for The Pitch, I reached out to local family law attorneys, and they said that yes, absolutely, they have seen this represented in a surge of women calling their offices seeking divorces from their conservative husbands. Politics aren't just a conversation. They're a reflection of our deepest values. And when those values clash, it often leads to irreparable damage in relationships. And let's face it, politics is personal. The political is personal. It's no longer just about voting differently. It's about what those votes represent, our worldviews, priorities, and how we want to shape the future. Some people might think it's ridiculous to end a relationship over politics, but that's a really privileged position held by somebody who's probably never had politics affect their life directly. Now, let's address a few common myths that I have heard out there. The first one I see in the manosphere from podcasters. They're lamenting this idea of sudden divorce syndrome. So anyone out there who thinks that divorce just comes out of nowhere, like one day everything is fine and then the next day your spouse, usually a woman, wants out, that's just Looney Tunes. That's nobody is doing that, right? The truth Most divorces do not come as a shock. Now, you might initiate a conversation and that's shocking, but the actual filing? No, that is not coming as a surprise. Okay, nobody gets papers as a surprise, all right? There's often deeper issues at play, such as abuse. So if you are running around telling people that you got surprised, you are either telling on yourself or you're not telling the truth. Another myth is that women are the primary beneficiaries of divorce. Yes, while statistics do show that women file in heterosexual marriages for 2/3 of divorces, it is not because courts are biased or because women are just running out on their husbands. In reality, most divorce cases resolve without trial. About 90% of custody cases resolve without trial, and support payments are much more balanced than many people assume. Also, given that many heterosexual relationships are shown to fall into habits such as the wife is the one who handles most of the mental load, like making appointments, doctor's appointments, checkups, maintenance work around the house, why is it any wonder that women are the ones who file for divorce more often? They're the ones who are doing most of the legwork in relationships, so of course they're going to do most of the legwork to end the relationship. Another layer to this conversation is no-fault divorce. Now you may be asking, what is that and why does it matter? Well, because simply put, no-fault divorce means that you don't have to prove a reason, such as infidelity or divorce, to legally dissolve a marriage. It's a way for people to separate without the additional trauma of legally assigning blame. No-fault divorce is under attack. In states like Texas and Nebraska, there are conversations in the state legislatures about restricting or even eliminating no-fault divorce. And of course, Speaker Mike Johnson has said that he opposes no-fault divorce. I mean, are we shocked? Come on. Why is it always the weird churchy people who want to ban divorce and no-fault divorce is like their first step in this process? Ugh, it's just... Eliminating no-fault divorce could have a profound impact on those who need to leave toxic or abusive relationships. If no-fault divorce is taken off the table, it could lead to much more contentious, expensive, and emotionally draining legal battles. This is going to clog up family courts. Instead of simply agreeing to part ways, individuals would have to fight to prove their case in court. And it's not just time-consuming, it's deeply painful. Furthermore, such restrictions could disproportionately hurt women and children. For many women, no-fault divorce has been a crucial tool for escaping domestic violence. Women's suicide rates decreased after no-fault divorce was established in the 70s, as did men's rates of disappearance. A lot fewer men went out for smokes or milk and never came back. Really, you know that it's that some of your great-granddaddies got dispatched by your great-grandma's brothers or uncles or fathers, right? He ended up underneath the rose bed. He ended up in the woods. He ended up in the pig pen, okay? So without no-fault divorce, many people might find themselves trapped. And while divorce can already be a daunting process, these legal changes could make things even more difficult for everyone. If you're considering divorce, here's some practical advice. First off, stay calm and take your time. Divorce is a big decision. Don't rush into anything just because it's January and you feel some sort of pressure to make a decision. It's important to be sure to have a plan. Get organized. Start gathering your financial documents, your bank statements, and anything else that may be relevant to your case. Having separate finances isn't going to necessarily keep you from having to split money, even though a lot of people think that it will. Yes, it's going to make things easier, but it doesn't mean you're not going to have to share that money. Okay, just because it was only in your name doesn't mean it's only your money. Consult a therapist. Divorce is emotionally exhausting, so it's critical to have professional support. A therapist will help you process your feelings and navigate all of this transition in a healthier way. Also, your lawyer's billable hours are quite a lot more expensive than a therapist's. So you're just going to save yourself some money if you vent to them instead of while you're sitting in your attorney's office. Next up, talk to a lawyer, know your rights, and understand the divorce laws in your state. Each state has different rules, and a lawyer can help guide you through them. I live in Kansas City. We're straddling a state line. So especially here, don't trust what your friend says. Go talk to an attorney and find out what's going on in your state. Because Missouri and Kansas have very different laws, so talk to a professional. Everyone's circumstances are unique. They're going to be the best ones to give you advice, not your friend, not your neighbor, not your sister, not your parent. Remember, this process is as much emotional as it is legal, so taking care of your mental and emotional health during this time is key. Divorce can feel like the end of something, but it's often the start of a new, beautiful chapter. If this video has been helpful, I'd love for you to support my work by becoming a patron on Patreon. Your support allows me to continue creating content like this that helps you navigate life's most difficult transitions. And of course, check out my other videos. They have a little bit more like fun information in them and a little less depressing. Also, if you're craving more advice and a little more intimacy, subscribe to the Dirty Bird. That's my Not Safe for Work email newsletter, where you'll get real, raw, and personal insights on relationships and sexuality. Both links are in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, no matter where you are in your journey, you are not alone. You've got this.